G'day everyone. Here is the June full moon reading description and what we have received this month. So here we go. First image is actually like this dark being. Oh yeah, the theme for this reading is was meant to be the afterlife or the life between lives state. However, it turned out to just mostly focus on death. There's about one scene towards the end that does visit the afterlife. At least, you know, that point where the soul is returning to the between lives realm. And you know, I do want to say it's a state though. Rather than a place, a locality, because it's very non-local. Anyway, so first image was this interesting presence. He was, or you know, it was completely dark, but with these small blobs of congealed galaxies on his face, and I looked at it and it looked at me, and it was, so if it was in a physical presence it would have been quite intimidating. However, when I'm, you know, astral traveling, I guess it is, you know, when you're not in your body, you aren't as afraid of things that you would be if you are you know, would be seeing things physically. So this alien looking being was actually quite, it was kind of like death. And then the next image was, so, you know, there I am looking death at the face, and not a face I was expecting. It's then standing on top of the earth and pouring this light energy into the sides of the earth here. Electric light, and then body, and then this death-like figure is showing me a body on on a death sheet, like it was just this black silky textured cloth that's normally laid over, you know, someone's face, but this one was laid underneath it, and it was like, it's like it's going to be showing us a death sequence that is normally happens behind the veil. Next image was a tunnel of light and love. There was someone that's, you know, recently deceased, presumably the soul that has just left the body of this person lying down here, and you know, it was kind of cute, like the way that was in shape of a heart, but I suppose you're limited with how it could have represented a tunnel of light of love, as in a, you know, near-death experience, or I mean actual death experience. Okay, so you've got this soul kind of looking up this tunnel of light and love, and then it cuts to a different scene, and it's this well, I suppose it was an islander mask, and you know, Polynesian, Tahitian, Hawaiian, with this blue glow around it, and you know, weird kind of spider legs kind of moving. There was just this movement that I couldn't quite peer into the half light enough to see what it was, but anyway, it then cut to a sacred ceremonial space of this priest cupping his hands and into a beam of light and catching it, and he was wearing a ring of flowers, a wreath of flowers, and it was, you know, I presume it was some sort of funerary rite occurring, and I was in a cave. Next image was him receiving manna from heaven, and it was just this sort of liquid, yeah, viscous form of light. So, but it was quite tactile, and from heaven and from us and his ancestral spirits. Then it depicted him going out into the ether, out into the upper world, and as this, well, like, you know, I wrote Azrael like as a archangel of death, but it was like, it did have this messenger feelings, which, you know, is the meaning of angel. So deliverer, I wrote raven, I wrote okay, about the head, it wasn't, you know, your typical head. It was a amorphous, returning to void energy, an angel being of the unmanifest. Now I'm going to show you some of these images, because dark energy, I really need to look up dark matter. Yeah, returning to void. So here's that mask of, you know, seemingly Hawaiian looking, and then a priest receiving manna, and there's that angel of the unmanifest. Now the next image is cut to the lower world, you know, so we're kind of in astral plane, upper world territory, and now we're headed down back to the lower world. And it's, you know, and I initially thought, oh, they're quite short in stature, and it reminded me of my friend and collaborator Laura. She introduced me to the Aos Sí, the Aos Sí, excuse my pronunciation, and like, or gnomes, or these short people, and the leader of them was standing on this stalactite and raising his hands up to the cave roof, and all of the other figures they all had heads of light, and it was very, like, it was like a real place. It wasn't, you know, just, it was like the hollow earth. Then in the next image, where he was raising his hands, he was sending it this heating energy, and through the roof of the cave towards the surface, and what it was causing, there's him warming the roof, and then it created this pyramid. Now it wasn't like perfect in geometric structure. It was like it was made out of cooled down molten lava, and he had the ability to control the earth and its formations, and on top of it, like overlaid, was an energetic geometric structure. Next image, went back down to the lower world, and there was this axis mundi, this, you know, trunk connecting the lower world to the upper world, and but it seemed almost man-made, or like, you know, these AC made, and like it looked kind of organic, but it was nothing like you'd really see on a, like, from our everyday middle world uh, viewing of nature. So because it's something I've never seen and it looks ancient, I want to say it's alien, and it's the Earth's, like it's like that this, you know, this process that this priest was going under is a natural process, a part of the psyche of and body of the Earth. Next image. Dark organic tendril arms lifting out the soul, and a conscious death. So choosing the time of his death. This was the time he was going to leave his body. You know, it wasn't via natural causes. This was, I am leaving my body. This is my ascension moment. And, you know, I'm not going to continue living in this physical vessel that is my human form. So that's that image there. You know, and really that's, you know, kind of the transfiguration, but this choosing of death, like, almost cancels out the need for the word death. It's just changing of form. Void angel picking up the priest. So this, yeah, animating void, Azrael, death-like spirit, starts lifting out the soul of this priest, and then this image I'm still coming to terms with. Already I'm coming to terms with. He was being held in this reptilian figure, his hand, and he had this sense of amusement of the situation, this priest, where he was in the whole scheme of things, and yeah, and like I wrote, like his light head was not just kind of flowing upwards like a candle flame, but more flowing back like flaming hair, and you know, and I thought, oh, maybe, like, my initial thought was that it was this sort of, you know, reptilian alien, like, you know, I don't know, I've only sort of seen posts about it, or, you know, haven't really done any research about a reptilian race of aliens who you know, aren't very nice, bad-willed, and they occasionally get involved with human affairs. But I got a funny feeling that, you know, the next thing that came to mind was the crocodile god. What was his name? I think Sobek, who yeah, I think he's in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Not that I've read it, but there was some involvement there. Anyway, you got this reptilian being, massive in scale compared to this human soul that has managed to consciously choose his death and ascend in an extraordinary way. And then the next image was this angel taking a spear of light into the depths of the earth, and it cut to another death scene. But this one was well, I thought it was a pharaoh, but maybe it is, maybe it was. So like, it was a figure lying on a tomb, on a tombstone, and across his chest, over his heart, was a single serpent moving in an infinity sign. And I thought, oh wow, okay, and he's and it's eating its own tail. Now this is an ancient symbol, used, you know, in a lot of different cultures, including the Egyptian one, and Greek, I think. And it's called an Ouroboros, and it's yeah, the infinity of life. I was immortality. I'll write down the word for you, and you can have a look at it. But yeah, so there's this figure, and then his spirit sits up out of his dead body, and then I get it, energy rises to be a pharaoh standing, and I got this glimpse of this Egyptian pharaoh. Then in the next image, the sitting up body wasn't just a spirit, it was this leathery skinned, you know, post mummified body, jewel ordained, corpse reanimating seemingly, with its spirit starting to escape, and then this body vessel opening like a sarcophagus, and this massive amount of light bursting forth, and then this is when I saw the Transfiguration of Jesus. For the first time I've seen Jesus, at least in this visionary channeling session, and when I saw it, it was he was surrounded by 4 dark angels, and you know, who were all had their heads lowered, and then when I looked into the light, I actually saw, you know, a human figure who was like, he was a man, and he was kind of shocked, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe I said, oh my god. Excuse me. And then there was this, resurrection, ascension, and Christ, the birth of Christ consciousness, or you know, what we think of when we reflect on that expression. Next image, it went back down to the tomb, and instead of seeing an Egyptian pharaoh, I saw something, again, organic and alien, with these seed souls starting to emerge from his head. And again, I think it was this, it is the ecosystem. Like, it's like the Earth's psyche has an ecosystem, and death has a very specific position within this. within her psyche. Next image, the seed pod of the mind opens up, and out exits the cosmic egg. 4 beings of light reach out and touch this egg, and at the top of the tomb is the topmost point of a pyramid. Next image, I saw I suppose an entranceway into a heaven filled with glowing souls, and then I saw the soul of Jesus being greeted on a Stargate bridge. Yeah, so it was very much the upper world, and there was a sense of being congratulated, or like, whew, you know, that was quite a lifetime you had. And then next image, as the soul walks forward, the soul's his soul's body cloak is taken off, and as he enters into source, and when the soul's body cloak was being taken off, and as his, you know, individuated consciousness was merging with the all-inclusive light, underneath this cloak of light was a dark body with a necklace of skulls. You know, there's like, you know, reminding me of the Hindu goddess, death goddess Kali, or, you know, maybe Tibetan Buddhism. And so there's this sense of an organic presence of Earth that almost seems alien, but you know, it's just as much a part of the ascension process as, you know, the divine light of God, at least for us humans. And then the next image was I saw this library, you know, with pillars and columns, or at least I had that sense of a library. And then it cut way back to the priest again, and the priest becoming void energy. You know, I used to call it creator energy, but now, you know, I want to say it's the, you know, out of the darkness, everything, both, you know, that all of creation comes from, the ground of being that all creation comes from, but it can return to. It is the unmanifest. And then him seating down on a throne in the underworld, or in the lower world cavern, and behind the throne were, you know, angels' wings fluttering, but him becoming seated and dormant, and dormant, but still made of this alive void. So thank you so much for watching. If you have gotten through all 25 minutes of this, and you know, look, I sincerely hope you're well, and yeah, you're doing okay through these times. So my heart goes out to you, and thank you so much for watching. Cheers, bye.